I just did that long conversation that you guys saw here on Be Better Golf with Mike Bender, so I wanted to highlight my favorite 3 drills that Mike Bender came up with, or at least popularized. Let's get straight into it. So the first drill is going to be this cone drill. I'll go through them real quick, and then if you want details, you can watch the entire video. The first drill is this cone drill, where you swing above it, you swing underneath it. Really tough to do. You want to exaggerate that, make that difficult. Second drill is this, great for driver, like totally awesome for driver, where you set up this noodle, like, I'll get more detailed into it later, but basically like this. Foot off the ground, blah, 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 so that you have to really come into it very shallow. Not very, very shallow, just like appropriately shallow. Club is on plane, we shouldn't hit it, club's there. We're gonna go here and there, should be able to hit the ball. Yep. And the third drill is take this, put it straight down the target line, put it in the ground, and you're gonna have it a little above the plane this time. So that, see how the plane's here, the plane's there, it's crossing it, because we wanna get above the plane that way. So I'm rushing through these drills because I want you guys to see the drills first, then we'll get detailed about them afterwards. I always like that when I see golf videos. So now I'm going to try to swing above it that way. All right. And normally, if you're chicken winging it or swinging left, I mean, this thing would be in pieces, that would be in pieces, your cone would be broken, everything. Let's get into the details of how to set these up and how to do these. All right, first things first. Let's get rid of this and that. Put this down. All right, first things first, we're gonna get into the cone drill. This cone is on Amazon, it's $9, it's telescoping, it's easy to fit in anywhere. All right, so first of all, with all these drills, like you'll always hear in golf, you always hear, oh, there's a million different golfers and there's a million different ways to swing the club. Just swing your swing, go out there and do whatever works for you. Well, there are a million different swings, but golf clubs are all designed basically the same. It's a stick with this off the end of it. So there's a certain plane and a certain way that is the best way to hit golf shots. It's got to be coming down a certain amount, you know, within a certain window. It's got to be coming from the inside or from the outside a certain window. It's got to exit a certain way. So do whatever you want to do, but you got to learn to get the club more on plane. Almost everybody, I'd say 90% of golfers, myself included, but I'm getting better, goes to the top, and we see this. Everything's working this way. It's all a little out of sequence. I call it out of sequence because when you say over the top, you think that, oh, I swung right, I just went over it, so I need to go under it. Well, to me, it's really, it's an out of sequence thing because you're here, and then if the hips rotate early with everything else on top of the hips, you're over it. If the upper torso rotates in transition, you got that, that's over. So really, what I like to feel is the arms to be let out quite a bit, so they're gonna win the race. So then you can get it coming, because you gotta do something to get back to this plane. So that's the way I like to do it. Let's get into these drills. The first drill is this cone drill, is just probably the best thing that you should start with. This has worked for like thousands of golfers have gotten better using this. So what you want to do is you want to put this, if you're in an extreme case, you want to put it uncomfortably close to you. You want to have it pretty close to you. What that means is, so if we have our tee here, and always put a second tee next to it, so when you knock the tee out, you know where it is and you don't have to restart. So we put our tee there, and then when you swing here, you want, when you make your backswing, get it about level for the normal difficulty. Get it about level with your hosel here. See, that's about level. And here, put it down there. Now as far as in to out, get it like coming right down your shin line, I would say. So that's about normal. Now you can see if I go that way and dump it that way, I'm gonna take that cone out. So the first thing to do is set that up and take some slower swings where you can hit the T and miss the cone. And then you can build more speed. And you can see, or maybe you can't see, but I can feel that the arms are winning the race. Now, if you're in extreme case, the more extreme you are, the closer to you bring it. So this is getting very close to me. See there, that's about like 8 inches. The main key with this is when you take your backswing, don't dip back this way, because I can cheat it, watch. By dipping this way and still slinging. And some golfers do that, but man, that's hard to time. So what I like to do is really gotta get, it should feel like, man, there's no way I'm gonna be able to hit that tee from here. That thing is just totally in the way. But if you're in sequence, you can do it. It's really tough to do once you get it that extreme. So I'm gonna put it back about a little inside, because I like it pretty difficult. I like to exaggerate it quite a bit. So I'm gonna put it there. And at first for me, I was thinking it was gonna be totally impossible. I proved to myself that I could do it by hitting the tee. And then I was like, oh, well, if I can hit the tee, I can hit the ball. So, and you get in front of this cone with arm speed, I feel. Really letting the arms win the race, in feeling anyway. All right, nice and straight. The second drill we're gonna do is this one here. When Tony and I did our Be Better Golf School last month, we hired one of the guys from the Mike Bender Golf Academy, a friend of mine, Dan Wingate, to help us, and he was like our Noodle man. And he gave this drill to, of the 10 guys that we have there, he gave this drill to 8 of them. It is really, really common that this drill will help golfers get a lot better. All right, so you guys know about the plane, right? I don't have to repeat anything of that everybody knows about. So here's the plane of the club. See, like, imagine a pane of glass down on the ground there. If I step over this way, see, that's the continuation of the plane. Take a big step to the right, away from the target, see, that's the plane. So now I'm gonna go like that much in. So I want this noodle to be a foot off the ground and about there. And then I want it to be, it's about knee high and inside there. So we're gonna drive this into the ground here. The way to check it, set up here, take a step to the right. You can see that that's not close enough. There you go, that's getting really good. All right, so as you can see, this is the plane on this side, this is the plane over here. So there should be no good golfer, really, that is so far above the plane that they would hit this thing, unless they're playing some kind of major specialty shot, you know, real big, you know, slice around something or whatever. So, because there's plenty of space there, and you can make this even more difficult. We're gonna make this pretty darn difficult. Same thing, do this off at, like, just air swings and then off it, just hitting a tee at first. So you take your backswing, and you gotta get the same feeling you had with the cone through the ball there. Tee one up. This is great for irons, for everything. It's just, see, with the driver, it's a little flatter. With the irons, it'll be a little bit up different, so you have to keep changing it. They have a little base to hold these shafts, and it's actually something I want to get, because moving them around in the grass is a drag. And if you're on a concrete range, it won't work at all. Okay, so here, and we're gonna be coming shallow and from the inside. All right, that was good. Started at the right side of the fairway, drew back to the center, hit it off the toe slightly, probably protecting from hitting that thing a little much. It's a great drill because you're not thinking about hitting up on it. You're just doing, all you're thinking about in your brain is avoid this noodle without, falling this way. So you could put another noodle this way to stop your head from doing that, which I've done before. And I like to make my practice swing pretty extreme. Then I'm just going to concentrate on missing the noodle and squaring up the ball. There we go. All right, good. The final one. Now you can do these things in a combo, which is what I do a lot, but just to make it very clear, there's nothing wrong with setting up a very complicated setup, because people say like, oh, you don't want to work on like 5 things at once. You don't, but so many of these things are connected to each other that really, if you have a bunch of different setup, if you have a clear idea of what you want to do, you're really working on the same thing with just some other obstacles. Okay, so like I said, we want the plane's there, and the plane over here is here, right? So you would think, okay, let's just put it there so we can swing just a little bit above this. We want to go extreme though, so write down our, more exaggerated than that. So write down our target line, we're going to go like a ball inside the target line, and then we're going to put this here, and I want this one, this is really great for chicken wing and other stuff like that. This one I want a little bit above the plane. So here, and I step this way. See how that's a little above the plane? Now usually, actually, I like to combo drills together. Like I'll put, because I don't want to dip too much this way, I could put something to stop me from doing that. I could put that noodle that was there. I actually put one up here. All right, to keep you from, because if you have just one, your body can find a way to cheat it. If you have 2 or even 3, but you're still trying to just do the same thing, it's gonna be pretty hard to cheat it. So same thing, you want to start out with no noodles, with no, there we go. You want to make sure it's close enough so that if you actually swing too far inside, you're gonna hit it. So you all seen this look, the chicken wing and getting off sides, and you'll be wiping this stuff out. So we want to swing here and there. So really the only way to, this is my favorite drill. This is my favorite drill in all of golf. This gets me hitting the ball better than any other drill, because it works on plane, but it also works on sequence, because the only way for me to get on plane is to have a better sequence. So I'm going to hit a nice draw here, and I'm going to be swinging more to first base. See? So I have to look, because the ball went nicely, but I hit the noodle pretty good. That's why, because if I get here and I rotate my torso early, my whole swing direction is going to be going this way. I want my whole swing direction really driving towards the target. So be here, and really good shot there. Dead straight. I drove the entire range. Got a helping wind though. For the final thing in the video, we're gonna do the maximum combo, right? This is pretty wacky, but we're gonna do it because it's fun. Even though there's so much complicated setup, and admittedly, it looks wacky. You're really just working on one thing. I remember I was at a PGA Tour event a couple years ago, maybe 6, 7 years ago, and Lee Jansen had shafts and noodles like all around himself. And I was like, I didn't think pros did that. I thought that was like faux pas for like a pro to look with all that stuff. If you guys watched that show, live at the Masters, the practice, live on the range, if you would have watched that show in 1991, you would have seen a few training aids, obstacles, not many. On that show, almost everybody had them. Charlie Hoffman, Bryson DeChambeau, Vijay Singh, you know, the famous video of him. There's no stigma left among the pros. Do not care. They really just want to get better. And doing stuff like this is going to get you better so much. You'll run out of time. Just trying to get better by feel, you will run out of life before you get better, just trying to do it only by feel. If you want to get it done at some time, you know, while you're still here, you gotta exaggerate, and you gotta use drills. Otherwise you'll just stay the same, just accept it. So, I look wacky, yes, but I don't care. So now I've got all three things going. I put this in a little bit more. I'm gonna make it extreme too. I'm gonna put it here. I gotta swing that way. This is really difficult. Because it's so difficult, don't try to hit a ball straight away with it. Go here, there, here, there, here, there. I still haven't hit the tee. Let's see. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. Let's go. This is the gauntlet. This really is the gauntlet. So good. All right. Oh man, I hit the last one out of the gauntlet. I mean, it's tough. Hit the subscribe button. Let me know what you think. See you later. Bye.